Hello, I am Dr. Aloka Hedau. I am a pediatric ophthalmologist and an adult squint surgeon. Today I am here to talk to you about common pediatric eye diseases. One of the commonest pediatric diseases is refractive errors, which means glass powers. There are three types of eye problems or refractive errors in children: myopia, hypermetropia and astigmatism. Now what do we mean by that? This is the eyeball. Light comes, so if you see an object, light comes from there, refracts by the front layer of the eye, which is called as retina, and goes inside into the inner layers of the eye, which is known as retina. From there, the optic nerve carries these images to the brain where it is processed. Now, if the light of rays fall exactly at the back part of the eye, then we have zero power, which is known as emetropia. Suppose the child's eye is little bit longer, then the rays of light get reflected just before the retina, and therefore it causes something known as myopia. In this case, distant objects are blurry but near objects are clear. To make these rays of light refract and reflect exactly at the back part of the eye, we need something known as minus lenses or concave lenses, which is known as minus lenses in our routine terms. So we can have powers like -1, -2, -3 depending on the length of the eyeball and the amount of refraction of the eye. Similarly, if the child's eyeball is little bit smaller, then you can imagine that the rays falling from the cornea get reflected behind the retina. In this case too, the child does not see clearly and requires plus lenses or convex lenses to make them see clearly. So this again can be +1, +2, +3, and this is again for distance objects and with good clarity for near objects. In most of these children, the parents would recognize the problem from the age of 4-5 years when the child is going to school and not able to read from the blackboard. There is another kind of refractive error known as astigmatism, which means that the shape of the eyeball is not spherical and little conical, because of which there is very poor clarity of the light which is reflected on the back of the retina. To make this images clearer, we need to give minus or plus lenses at particular degrees to make the shape of the eyeball spherical and reflect clear images on the back of the retina. Astigmatism is more difficult for parents to pick up because these children continue to see almost everything clearly and have problems only while reading from the blackboard. Now, how do you pick up problems like myopia, hypermetropia and astigmatism for your small children? The most common complaints are eye rubbing, watering, redness, repeated headaches or banging of the head, or sometimes just having a very irritable behavior at school. These children are many a times shy children who do not like to interact with the outer world because they are not able to see very clearly. Now, as you know, the problems are even more difficult to identify in special children or non-verbal children. The signs that you will see is squeezing of the eyes like this, or touching the eyes repeatedly, or squinting or crossing of the eyes. The another common problem in children is known as lazy eye or amblyopia. What do we mean by lazy eye is that even if the eyeball is perfectly developed, because of interaction or competition between the two eyes, brain selects the better eye and makes it the dominant eye. The other eye becomes lazy and images falling on the eye are not processed by the retina, and therefore over a period of time this eyeball goes into a permanent loss of vision. The most common cause of lazy eye is squint, which means crossed eyes. One eye looking straight and the other eye looking either inward or outward or upward. In these scenarios, the eye which is straight becomes the dominant eye and the eye which is crossed becomes the lazy eye. Other common causes for lazy eye are also anisometropia, which means that only one eyeball is either long or short and that eye becomes the lazy eye. Sometimes you can have lazy eye in both the eyes also if both the eyes have a very high glass number. Now what is squint? Squint means crossed eyes. Many a times we see squint developing from birth, which is known as congenital squint. But sometimes squint can also develop later in life, known as developmental squint. The most common age group for developing is around 8 to 9 years of age in developmental squint. Very rarely we can also have paralytic squint because of paralysis of one of the muscles which is involved in rotating the eye. Commonly, this is the outer muscle which is known as the lateral rectus muscle supplied by the sixth nerve. In case of accidents, injuries, head injury, head surgery, or in cases of raised pressure of the brain, this nerve or this muscle gets involved, causing paralytic squints. This can occur also in adults. Now when there is a congenital squint or by birth squint, the child does not see double. This is because of the ability of the brain to suppress the image of the squinting eye and make it lazy. If the child continues to have double vision, it would be very difficult for the brain to develop. And as a role of coming out of this problem, brain suppresses that eye. But this phenomenon does not happen beyond 10 years of age. So if a bigger child or an adult develops a squint, they do have double vision. Now when the child is small, say around 2 to 3 years of age, if squint is seen by the parents, then it should be tackled early. First 8 years of life are critical period of vision development, which means that the brain and the eye is still immature. So if you rectify things, the whole mechanism of the brain and eye coordination can still improve, and therefore this child can have very normal vision growing up. But if the first 8 years of life these problems are not corrected, then there is permanent loss of three-dimensional vision or binocular vision. In these cases, we cannot improve the binocularity even if we successfully treat the squint. In the first 4 to 5 years of life, the eyeball size and the shape of the eyeball continues to grow. In this period, any amount of lazy eye can be treated very well by suppression methods. Over period of time beyond 8 to 9 years of age, there are other therapies like vision therapy or pharmacotherapeutic methods which can help to bring back the vision in the lazy eye, but these are again not very successful. So what happens if your child has eyes which are split or squinting? In these cases, the child continues to see only with one eye with loss of vision in the other eye. As the child sees with both eyes open, as parents or caregivers, you are not able to recognize that there is a vision loss unless you uniocularly close one eye. So I would request all parents to generally check their child's eye vision with each eye closed to make out any kind of defect in one eye vision. Uniocular vision loss is even more difficult to treat than binocular vision loss. Other common kind of problem in children that we routinely see is allergies, ocular allergies. Because of environmental dust, pollution increasing day by day, Indian children are also very allergic nowadays. Allergy usually comes in the sense of eye watering, rubbing, swelling around the eyes, yellowish discharge, stickiness of the eye in the morning, or general scratching of the eyes all the time. These children also end up blinking the eyes much more. Allergies are easier to treat if it is one of acute episode, but many children continue to have repeated episodes of allergy throughout their childhood, and these are known as chronic allergies. Now, one important message is, if the child is continuously rubbing the eyes like this, the shape of the cornea or the front layer of the eye can change, and this can cause a very vision threatening condition known as keratoconus. In case of keratoconus, the treatment is much more difficult and requires lifelong treatment, sometimes even ending as corneal transplants. So in allergy, make sure that your child doesn't rub the eye too much. There are a lot of medications now available to treat allergies in a very safe manner. But please consult your ophthalmologist before putting any medication in your child's eye. I have seen years and years old children getting glaucoma or steroid induced damage to the eye because of pharmacy or over the counter used drugs which are used irrationally by parents or caregivers. This can cause permanent vision damage. So do not just go for a one hand magical solution for allergy, and consult your ophthalmologist for the same.